Hello, good evening, everybody. This is Parvati, HR Manager with 360 Digit MG, and today I'm here to give you all a session on resume building and interview tips, as well as I would like to share a couple of profiles, sample profiles, know how resume looks if he is a fresher or if he is a experienced person in data science technologies. Okay, so let's get started. So agenda for this session is like what would like to let you know like what is a resume is and why do we need a resume, tips for writing a resume, and why are resumes important for employers, and advantages of a resume, and types of interviews, and what kind of do's and don'ts we have to prepare ourselves for the interviews. And I would like to show like how to prepare our LinkedIn profile. And would like also share couple of LinkedIn profiles. We can just go through the LinkedIn profiles of other data science interns or data science experienced people, like how they have draft put their resumes with their experience and all. Okay, so let's get started. So yeah, so what is a resume? Yeah, a resume is nothing but a document, or that might be a soft copy or a hard copy or a digital form, whatever it is no the one which will list your education, right from education, work experience, skills, your achievements, and your hobbies, whatnot, whatever you I mean, when you want to uh, pursue your career. Okay, like pursue your professional, you want to grow professionally, you need a resume, right? No, which will list all these things whenever you are going to apply for a job interview, or when you are applying for a job position in for any organization, or it might be a big four company, or might be an MNC or a startup, whatever it is. The first thing they would like to know about you is, no, they would like to know about you by seeing your resume, isn't it? So your resume defines like what experience you have, and which education background you are from, and what are the companies you have worked with, or if you have experience like what which with which companies, with which organizations you have worked with. And like what if some people have the habit of listing their hobbies as well. So this way we'll also get to know like their personal interests, and what are their achievements, like achievements especially in extracurricular activities that might be like debate, or sports, or participating in cultural activities in their colleges or universities, wherever they have graduated from, or wherever they have completed their education from. All these things will be listed on a resume, isn't it? So resume is nothing but it is a word which you will be hearing throughout your job hunting procedure, like until you find a job, wherever you go. Like if you want to tell anyone that you're looking for a job, the first thing they would like to ask you is your profile. Like what is your profile? I mean, can, like if you say like if they are looking for some fresher or data science fresher who is well trained and well certified, okay, the first thing they would ask is, can you please share your resume, right? Once seeing your resume, they will understand like know what kind of data science technologies you are experienced with, what experience you have, and from what education background you are from. Like data science is a thing which is being adapted by any individual. Like, no, it is not, it is just not limited for the people who are from BTech background or just MBA background, something like that, right? So any person, irrespective of their, the work experience, the with the different domains, or any person with the different educational, I mean, who are from different educational background, like if they're technical or non-technical, they are trying to learn data science, because data science is booming right now, right? The data science, AI, machine learning, all these technologies are booming right now. So irrespective of their education background, they are trying to learn the course, and they want to upskill themselves in this particular era, right? So yeah what this is the point. I mean, why did I take this point is, like, when they see at your resume, they will understand like from which background you are coming from. Like, you have done your BSc or MBA or any BTech or any other technical related, like if any technical related, uh, what to say, you are from the educational background. So everything can be understood once they see your profile. Okay. I mean, whatever technologies you have learned in the data science, like Python, R programming, or if you have learned or if you are familiar with other languages like Java, or other databases like SQL, Oracle, something like that. Okay. So as we will be listing everything on our profile, they will get to know each and every information, right? It's considered as essential information, which the employer can weigh up, whether if you are suitable for that role or not. Like, if you are good for that role or not, if they want to invite you for the job interview or not, that is decided if your resume, I mean, if, once they look at your resume. Okay. Yeah. The next question is like, no, why do we need a resume to present ourselves? Okay. See, for an organization, it is not just you are applying for that particular role. There might be a number of people applying for that role, right? So, in order to, it is just resume is to get them, I mean, to get them to the work, right? If they get the proper resumes, they can get you on, they can onboard you, and they can get the work done by you, right? So, what does your resume give? Like, your resume offers a summary of your skills, aptitudes, talents, and achievements, right? So resume is just a device that is used to sell yourself towards the potential employers. And it doesn't matter if the resume is a soft form or a digital form, right? So if your resume is appropriately done, and if it is no proofreaded by your seniors, or if it is proofreaded by any of the people who are no already doing the job since many years, and they know ups and downs in the business, sorry, job, and if they are aware, if they are experienced people, they can, you should always take the help of the people who have experience, right? So this way your resume looks more professional. Okay. Your resume will be picked up by the employer only when it looks the way they want. And to say there is no such resume called sample resume, or no such format called that, no, you should prepare your resume this way itself. No, nothing like that. But yeah, it should list, I mean, your resume should have the list of your skills, your experience, your details regarding your education, and details regarding your achievements. Everything should be drafted, or everything should be put on the document in a proper manner. Then only it will help you to fetch a job. Okay, just like that, writing a one line or two line, it doesn't fetch you anything. If you are a real data science guy, okay, you should list your there are many things to put on your resume apart from just your contact information and your objective or summary. You can put your skills, you can write down about your projects, like you can illustrate more about your projects. Along with that, yeah, you can also give the other common things like, your achievements, your educational background and all. Okay. So for a fresher, so for a fresher, or the things which should be listed on a profile are the starting from the contact information, objective or summary of the profile, along with the key skills, along with all these things, you know your project experience, I mean the way you have worked on the live projects, these things should also be listed. And also you can give the certification you have achieved. Okay, whatever you have achieved in your from right from your schooling to graduation, or right from your schooling to the training you have done on a particular course, you can list everything on your data science, on your profile. Okay, which will which will add more weightage to your profile. Yeah, if you have any queries, like if you are in a dilemma, like if you can put some information on your profile or not, okay, take the help of your seniors, or take the help of your trainers, or take the help of someone who can uh, help you out to get a professional kind of profile. Okay. So, what are few tips to draft or prepare a resume? You need to always try to, before writing your own resume, in just to have just to know, or just to get the idea how to write your profile and all, you can always try to Google for the reviewing, or to review the industry leading examples, the people who have already are well settled at data scientists, or they are working as data science scientists, or data engineers, or data analysts, or whatever the role is. They have been working with the organizations, or they were working with different organizations since couple of years, like maybe 5 to 6 years or 7 to 8 years. Try to review those profiles, and you'll get the idea, like how did they write their profile from bottom. No, just like that they will not be reaching that position, right? No, just straight away they will not become the senior data engineers, or senior data scientists, or senior data analysts, something like that. Okay, they will be coming from the phase you are running through. Like they also have gone through that phase of fresher, and no intern levels, fresher level, and later 1 year experience, 2 year experience. So once if you try to Google some examples, then you'll get the idea, like, okay, fine, this is the way I need to prepare my own resume. It's not just about data science, it is about any industry. Like if you are into marketing, or if you're into construction, whatever, if you have any queries, the thing is, you either need to speak to the person who is having a lot of experience in the related field, or at least try to Google kind of examples on LinkedIn or any other job sites where you can find the example. Nowadays we find everything on Google, right? So just before doing anything, just if you had a dilemma, like if you can use this or not on your profile, try to Google, or try to ask for the people who are ready to help you. Okay. And apply fonts that are professional. Apply fonts that are professional, that means, you need to apply fonts which are uh, either you use Times New Roman, or Arial, or Calibri, whatever it is. No, you need not use it which are like cursive writer, like looks like designs and all. You shouldn't make your resume as a wedding invitation. It should look professional, right? So better apply the fonts which look professional as well. And you need to always make sure to include relevant information only. Irrelevant information, like they are not interested to know, like, what was your past in your school days, what were you working, or in college days, what were you working. No, you can give the information about where you have done the schooling and what was your school's name, what was the aggregate you have achieved. What these things can be listed, but no extra things should not be given. And relevant information related to the key skills, like, if you are comfortable enough with these skills, then only put them on your profile. If you're not comfortable in explaining them, or no, the first thing any HR or any person would like to know is, they will try to know about you, right? They will just ask a question, can you please go get me through your profile, or just read me through your profile, like, or let me know about yourself. So when you let me know about yourself, your personal things you'll be speaking. And on a professional front, or no, when you are speaking about the education and all, they will always try to refer if you are speaking the correct information which is put on profile or not, right? So in such cases, skill sets, the experience, or the projects you have worked on, just like that, you shouldn't keep the dummy projects, or you shouldn't give the information about the about the things which you are not experienced with. No, you shouldn't put a blank face when they are asking you some question regarding your skills, or you are not aware of SQL. Okay, fine, if you're just having the basic knowledge, fine, at least write SQL in brackets, you can write basic knowledge. Okay, if you are expert in SQL, then fine, put SQL, so that no, when they ask you questions on SQL, you should be in a stage to answer them as well. That is what my point is. So including relevant information means, the include the information which you are comfortable with, which you should, where you should be able to talk on it. Okay, organize by importance. Yeah, whatever is important on your profile, put that. Okay, which is not relevant to for that particular thing, you need not include. Consider active languages. No, the sentences you frame, uh, you are done with your graduation, right? So you need not write like, no, I'm doing my BSc, something like that. So you have prepared your profile long back, and you just did not get through it in the last minute, and you just added your project's experience, and you have given that profile to the company who has asked, I mean, who has a which has a opening, so which is suitable for you, right? So see that, everything is appropriate. You need to use active language over the profile, uh, and proofread and make edits. As I said, always, when see, it's nothing wrong in doing it. When you are done, when you are done preparing your resume as per the samples you have seen, and as per the projects experience you have listed everything, whichever whatever is required for that particular, for your particular profile to be seen like. And make sure that no, you add couple of things, like if you are aware, and if the JD matches to you, yeah, please, you can also put the thing sentences, framing the sentences which you are comfortable with. Such things should be done on your profile. Okay, once your profile is completed, yeah, please do make sure you get it proofreaded by any of your seniors, or no, at least your friends who have good experience, who are from, no, already they have the experience and all. Or take the help of the trainers, whoever, from wherever you have got trained from, take the help of the trainers, check with the placements team, whatever work you can do, whatever efforts you can put, yeah, please do. And get a professional kind of resume. On the whole, your profile should look like a data science professional's resume, not just like a piece of paper, or it shouldn't look like a wedding invitation, writing everything cursive writing, address, name and all. No, just like a fancy look is not required, professional look is required. So do the things which are required only. Okay, and yeah, as I want to repeat, like once you are done, because you will be submitting the same resume for n number of requirements or n number of organizations, right? So better you get it proofreaded by a senior trainer or a senior person who can help you out to make the necessary changes. Okay, if they come up saying that no changes are required, it is good to go, then great, nothing else than that. But no, see, choose people who can really help you, just like that, to take on to escape the burden. They will tell, like, it looks good. No, right, whomever you speak with, like they are going to help you in a better way or not. So you need to choose the people who can help you in proofreading. Okay, so that they can upon proofreading, you need not worry, and you can automatically send the resume, and you can have it handy wherever you want, and you can share the resume with the respective organization, right? Okay, let's go to the next slide. Yeah. So, why are resumes important for employers, right? Why are resumes important for employers? Usually, no, resumes are they want some good people for their organization to join, right? They just, if they are startup also, or if they are well settled also, they want to find people who can drive the process well without any hurdles. Okay, there might be hurdles in and out there. Sometimes there is no organization which will not form just like that. But yeah, so why does employers need your profile? Like, there will be n number of so in order to the work to be done, they need someone who is qualified, right? Just like that, they cannot pick the profile. Okay, so how do they get, I mean, how do they determine your eligibility and everything, seeing up on your profile? So resume is nothing but, when sent to the employees, they determine your eligibility, your qualifications for that particular job. So the employees get the deeper understanding of that person who has sent their resume. They have that understanding of what skills are they having, and what are the strengths they're having, and what is the kind of experience they have. These things will be no sorry so employers use your resumes to get a deeper understanding of the candidates skills, strengths, and experience, right? Okay, so so is the reason resumes are important for the employees. Next, so advantages. Give me a minute, please. Yeah, thank you for staying. Advantages. Now, what are the advantages of preparing a good profile? What is the advantage of having a profile, or having a resume? No, resume is nothing but it is used to sell your skills. It is used to sell yourself, right? Okay, and it will be helpful for you to grab an interview. Okay, if your resume looks good, and if your resume looks professional, okay, it helps you in grabbing the interview. Okay, it is kind of branding yourself. It will be the quick and but lasting first impression on you, if you have a good profile which you present for a employer, right? So these are the advantages you get, or no in these are the advantages you have for a good profile. Okay, it is for me advantage, one of the only advantages, it is used to sell your skills. That's it. No, your resume, once they see your resume, the experience, the profile you make and submit to the uh, organization where the opening is for, sorry opening is for, uh, you know seeing that resume itself, they give you the opportunity to get interviewed, right? So if you get through the interview, and if you get selected, and if you are done with all the rounds properly, then what is the next step? They'll be offering you the position, right? The position is offered for your skills you have, right? So is the reason the I feel the advantage having a good profile is no, to sell ourselves. Okay. Yeah. Telephonic types of interviews. What are kind of types of interviews we have? No Now it's a trend of having online interviews, because due to this pandemic and due to the cost thing also, they just want to have the online interviews. And yeah, yes, if everything goes on well, they'll be asking you to come down to office, right? So what are the types of interviews we have? Telephonic interviews, panel interviews, individual interviews, video interviews. Telephonic round of interviews are the one usually no part of the initial selection process, right? So like no, if a HR calls you for a job opening, okay, if HR calls you for a job opening, they ask you, sorry, just HR calls you for a job opening, okay, if it might be for an intern role or a data science role or a fresher role, whatever it might be, okay. So they will just take a quick intro session, and then just no, they will try to ask you questions on the skill set you have, right? So this is the initial selection process. Once you know, they'll in this initial selection process, what do? They just check the communication skills, or the way you are able to handle the questions, or the way you are able to answer the questions over the phone, okay. How confident you are, how confident you are sounding, how confident you are on your skills, like you know, the technical skills, how strong you are, how strongly you are able to give the answers. So these all will be monitored, or no, these all will be part of the initial selection process. So if they feel like, okay, fine, this person is strong, and no, if they feel that this person is pretty confident answering the questions, they move forward. So those kind of interviews are telephonic round of interviews. Once done with your telephonic round of interviews, the next level will be no, panel interviews. Panel interviews, or no, the things, panel interviews are the things, is the thing where there will be 4 to 5 people, or it might differ, 2 to 3 people, 3 to 4 people. It depends from organization to organization, okay. Once you are done with the initial rounds, they want to have the panel interviews. They Sorry, panel interviews depends upon organization to organization. They, if they want, they will have the panel interviews for you, or they might have the individual interviews as well, okay. Panel interviews are taken by 3 to 4 people, okay, 3 to 4 or 5 maximum, not more than that. And individual interviews will be one on one, okay. One on one, it would be the technical manager or project manager or whatever. It depends upon that role and responsibilities you are being taken care of. Video interviews, video interviews are not done at the starting of the interviews. So once you're done with the telephonic round, technical rounds, and technical rounds may vary from organization to organization. Some organizations wants to take only one tech round, and some people will want to screen more and more, want to check, like you know, how confident you are on your skills, because they want to onboard you and give you opportunity to work with them for a long term. So they will be expecting more and more. So some companies or some organizations will be having, you know, two technical rounds, 2 to 3 technical rounds. Or I personally seen, you know, there are organizations which will also take 4 technical rounds also. It seems I mean, it sounds different, but still, yeah, there are organizations which take 4 technical rounds also, okay. Next comes video interviews. Video interviews, I said, right, these are not really very um not at the early stage of the interview, but you're when you're done through the initial selection process and the technical rounds. When you're done with the technical rounds, then comes the face to face, okay. Usually pre pandemic, they used to call the person to the location itself. Okay, until and unless if it is a role open where the people from other locations also can be considered. If it is a position which is located on, I mean, if they are looking only for the people who are in and around Hyderabad, yeah, they will look for only people who are in and other I mean in and around Hyderabad only. Okay, now it is not like the scenario, like, yeah, fine, if it is, if the opposite in Hyderabad, there are people working from Pune, people working from Chennai, people working from Bangalore. Everything is happening, right? This is because they are connecting through. I mean, we are having that of work from home opportunities, right? So at this point, at this stages, at this level, in these such, I mean, in this pandemic, the interviews have been raised. The number of video interviews taking place, the increase, I mean, earlier also we used to have video interviews, but it was in countries like, in states like United States or somewhere outside of India, because they used to stay far from the place, right? So when they commit, when they get the offer, then they move to the, or then they relocate to the place where the office is. Okay, physical offices. Okay, but the trend is now all over the world, they are working from, the majority of them are working from home itself. So the rate of connecting video interviews has been increased. So earlier they used to connect video interviews due to traveling and budget constraint, but now it is not that thing, due to the pandemic, in order to no just to for that COVID, this thing, they are conducting video interviews, right? So they'll be having video interviews. So one thing I would like to, okay, fine, I can tell you later, this thing. Fine, next slide. Yeah, as I said, your resume gets you to the interview, right? Your degree or your experience adds to your resume, and in your resume we need to use the right keywords. Right keywords related to data science, like data mining, machine learning, regression, R programming, whatever. These are the kind of keywords you need to use on the resume, and you should be very cautious when filling up the profile with keywords, because you need to list the keywords which you are comfortable only. That's what I was talking about, right? Mention only those keywords which you are comfortable with. Okay, and coming to projects, no dummy projects. Please do not include dummy projects, because they are going to give you the coding tests or online assessments based upon the projects you have done. For example, if you have put an project based, I mean, which you have done on NLP, now then they would ask you questions on NLP, or they would screen you on more and more deep on NLP. Sorry, or they would give you online assessments on NLP. So no dummy projects, please. And no academic process unless you're a fresher. Yeah, if you're a fresher and if you don't have any kind of experience, yeah, you can give or list your academic project. But if you're experienced guy, then you no need to give your academic projects. And no training details. You need not share your training details. And yes, as I said, no dummy projects, and do not copy projects from other profiles too. Okay, it seems very this thing. If you, what if you and your friend, both of you apply for the same job? Okay, fine, if you have worked and you worked in the same project, and if you have put your own efforts and he has put in his own efforts, fine, that is understandable. But no, without and just like that, you didn't work for that project, but your friend has worked, and so is the reason you have put, and no, thinking that I can manage in the interview, I can answer the questions. No, I really don't advise, because there will be scenarios where you will not be able to address the questions which they ask. Okay, only if you have participated, or if you have worked, like if you have contributed yourself in that project, then only you will be able to answer a few questions. So don't put yourself in a scenario where you'll be in a position you'll not be answerable. You're not when where you will not be able to ask, I mean, give the answers asked by the employer. Okay, and POC is a must on the project which are mentioned. Okay, next thing. Yeah, when they are asked to in the interviews, when they asked to explain you about the project, no, you just have seen live examples. When we ask them to explain about their project, they just like that say that no, my I mean the name of the project was so and so, and I've conducted the project there in that XYZ company, and this project was for so and so this thing. Okay, so when you're explaining the project, you shouldn't cut short it and tell. Okay, it is your own work, right? You have done the live project and you have put all your efforts to complete that project, right? I mean, you maybe other members also that there was a team working on the project, but still you had your own contribution, right? So when that contribution will get the result, when you explain it properly, if the question is raised in an interview, right? So when how do you explain a project in an interview? You should explain like a storyteller. Okay, give the starting, you should start giving with a giving business process. Okay, and you need to explain about the bottlenecks in the process, and you need to collect the data. I mean, you need to give the information like from where did you collect the data related to that problem. Okay, like, and you need to give the list of EDA techniques, and you can share the model buildings, model validations and iterations. Okay, and at last you need to also share like what were the business benefits you have achieved through working on that project. Okay, so these are the things you need to explain when the employer asks you to explain the project you have worked on. Okay, these all things will be explained only when you have that real time experience. See, okay, you might no have that thought in your mind. Okay, fine, these things can be learned, and okay, when they ask, I can tell that and tell them in the same manner. Okay, what if you miss few skills which which you have put on your profile, but you did not I mean, you did not address while telling about the project. So in order to avoid such things, make sure you put all your, I mean, you contribute yourself working on the project. Okay, this will help you more, because we recently we had seen scenarios where no freshers have completed their projects and all, and one of my colleague had presented them for XYZ organization, where they wanted people who are good on NLP projects. Okay, so we had sent a bunch of profiles and shared them to the end client. Okay, so but in that bunch of profiles, we got feedback for all the individual profiles, and for one of the profile the feedback was like, he has done the assessment, but no, he couldn't get through the assessment. So we were like, why, what was the reason? Like, it was a easy assessment, no? Then they said, no, the assessment was purely based on the project he worked. He had worked on NLP project, but still he couldn't answer anything on the um but still he could not answer anything on the, I mean, questions raised on the project he has worked, or the online assessment which was given on the project he has worked. So these things will not be disclosed to you directly. Okay, these things will be discussed or disclosed to the HR itself. Okay, then HR will not tell you upfront saying, you did not clear the round because you did not explain about the project, it seems, or you did not clear the round, or you did not get selected because you did not give the correct information about the project you have worked, or online assessment, you did not prepare well on your project, and you did not go get through the online assessment. These things any HR will not share directly. Instead, they'll just say, you need to prepare about yourself more on projects, or prepare yourself more on NLP. These things will be shared. Okay, they don't want you to put you down, right, upfront. They don't want you to make you feel that, no, array, why to disappoint you. Instead, they can motivate you, right? So is the reason any employer will not give you the feedback on your face, saying that no, you did a NLP project, sir, you have did a NLP project, but you were unable to answer the questions which were basic things which I've asked on the online assessment or raised in the interview. Okay, this type of things they'll not tell. They'll just tell, the employer will just tell, no, prepare yourself on the technical front and we'll get back to you later. This is the simple answer they'll give. Okay, instead of no, why, in order to avoid all such kind of things, better prepare yourself on the projects you have worked, and please don't include dummy projects. Put your contribution when you are working towards the projects. Okay, yeah, this is what no project structure should look like. No project structure you should give, like on a profile or wherever you are explaining, no, what is the objective of the project, or what is the data collected, what are the EDA techniques used, what are the methods and algorithms, and what are the tools you have used, like what data is considered and how did you analyze that data, and what methods were used, and what is the accuracy level, and how did you take that model deployment to the client, and a final report, right, how it is the most important thing, because the number speaks a lot, right? Final report and the important numbers, and business benefits, what kind of business benefits you have brought for the end client. Okay, I mean, by working on the project, what is the business and benefit you could bring in. So this is the way you need to write the description of the project on your resume. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So next thing is no preparation. How do you prepare yourself for a project? Sorry, for an interview, guys. You need to, at least when you are no seriously looking out for a job, spend at least 2 hours daily. Try to use a mind maps for quick references. Where you can understand better. Go through the training recorded videos multiple times. Complete all the assignments on time, right? Then constantly read articles or blogs related to the subject. Take random data sets and apply the concepts which you have learned, and practice Python and R programming skills. And if you have already learned SQL, yeah, try to put your head on SQL as well, because nowadays the trend is for both Python and R, and Python and SQL as well. And try to write articles on different topics by doing some research kind of work, which will put which will put work to your which will put weight on your head, and you need to think more about it, right? So like this you will try to Google more and more, and you will try to fetch more and more information, and try to attend workshops or competitions. Try to help others to solve their bugs, and finally work on a lot of POCs and also projects. Okay, next slide is also all about preparation. Like this preparation is like, when you get to know that you have a interview with a particular organization, try to research more about that company. Try to research more about that institution. Make sure you read all the information which you have found on Google. Like, try to know what is their mission, vision, and what kind of company organization it is. Is it a product based company, or is it a service based industry? What kind of services they render, what kind of products they produce? These all things, if you have that information upfront when before going for the interview, you will have a brief idea, right? Use internet to find out additional information regarding the organization, and try to network with the people who are already existing with that company, or who are already placed in that organization. Like, if you know any of your friends brothers or friends sisters, or if you feel that they can help you more, I mean, not for clearing the interview, but get the more information uh, from them, like no, you need not afraid of to use any contacts you may have too, because you people working in that organization can share more the inside information with you, or like what is a real story of that organization or company, right? So if you have any known people working in that organizations, no, better take their help as well. They'll give you the whatever the struggles they had in the interviews, or whatever things they have faced, they will try to share with you. Okay. And always when attending an interview, have a list of couple of questions ready, like once you are done with when you clear, or if you clear or not clear also, they will ask you like if you have any questions for us. Then you need to be in a instead of putting a blank face in that round also. I mean, for that question also, you need to ask few questions. Okay. Like you can ask like, in future, where do I stand if I get an opportunity to work with the organization? Like what is the career growth I have with this organization? Or you can ask like anything related to the company, you can ask them. Okay. And yeah, before attending an interview, if you have the chance of making an appointment for a mock interview with your career centers to practice your interviewing skills, yes, it is the best one. Like if you know upfront that you are going to attend an interview maybe a week after, or after 2 to 3 days, try to contact the people from your career centers and ask them if they can help you have a mock interview, because no one will say no, 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 we can't do that. No, they will try to fix an appointment with their trainers, or people who can take your interview or address, or let you know like how to prepare yourself on the particular JD. Because you have done the course from those career centers, right? They will never say no. So take that as an advantage and get yourself prepared. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, data science interview preparation, like you need to understand the roles, skills and interviews. Okay. Getting ready for interviews, build up your digital presence. Okay, that is this all, this is really very important. Prepare your resume, as I said. Please start preparing your resume and start applying. Okay. After applying, the next thing you'll be followed up, yeah, telephonic screening and getting through the assignments or in-person interactions. These all things will be part of your interview preparation as well. Do's and don'ts, yeah. As I said, the interview is a two-way process, right? Okay. If you get a job, you will be benefited, and the same time, if they hire you, they'll be benefited with the skills you have, right? So you should use the opportunity which have been given to you, and you need to grab that opportunity, and you need to prepare yourself in such a way that you will get that opportunity. Okay. And yeah, please do remember, early is on time, and on time is late, and late is unacceptable. Okay. So you should make sure that you are early on time. Like no, it's nothing wrong if you can if they are sending you a meeting invite, no, for joining an interview session, like not interview session, sorry, interview. Okay. You can, if the interview it is at 11 o'clock, it's okay, you can join at 10:45, you can stay online, nothing wrong. But if you join after at no, no, even after 11 also, they will count it as late. Even 11 also, they'll think, okay fine, this person is no on time. They will count on your attitude as well. Okay, why to give those chances when you are really interested, when you are really interested for that role, and when you are prepared yourself, then try to log in early. Okay. And appropriate clothing, yeah, makes yourself look professional. Okay. Mind your body language. Even if you are giving a video interview, may try to maintain that eye contact. Okay. Eye contact, and eye contact, the way you sit and the way you see into their eyes and give the answers, and the way you sit, the shoulders up straight, no, which these things will give the impression like how confident you are. Okay. These are the things which will show how confident you are. Okay. And also avoid giving yes or no answers. No, you can always give the answer by illustrating and by illustrating your point through an example. Okay, always try to give few examples and illustrate your point. Might be it is not possible for each and every question asked, but yeah, wherever you just want to give yes or no and escape, okay, no, instead give some examples and illustrate your points. Okay, these are the do's and don'ts. LinkedIn profile, just a second. Give me a moment, please. So this is how a LinkedIn profile looks like. You can give your photograph which looks professional, your designation, your contact information, and about yourself and your skills. All the activity can be seen here, and your role, your designation with the organization, your role, your designation, and your job description or your past thing, education, like whatever you have the education with, and the skills, and endorsements. Endorsement is nothing but, you can ask your peers or no people who are already on LinkedIn and your known people, known person, to give and endorse you on the skills you have. Okay, that is not a big deal. Okay, so you need to build your LinkedIn profile, update your profile with the data science skill sets, and try to get endorsed, as is it get try to get endorsed by the data science skills by experts, or at least by your batchmates and peers. Okay, keep on updating your profile and build decent activities related to data science by posting articles or comments on data science related articles or blogs, or sorry, articles or posts related to data science and related content. Try to be active. Okay, do not mention any online course certification numbers, and if you're already experienced. Okay, what I can tell you is, all in all, your profile should look like a data scientist. Okay, so as I said, yeah, keep writing the articles and publish them in social media, and try to participate in discussions which are open, which are on open threads, and try to participate in workshops and competitions. Okay, and all in all, your objective should be like, your profile should look like a professional data scientist profile. Okay, so this is all about today's session, and how to grow your network, try to increase your connections on data science. Okay, try to list out the core or upcoming or emerging companies in the space of data science or data analytics. Try to target the people who are recruiters, talent acquisition people, executives or HR managers who are into the core data analytics organization, because nowadays LinkedIn has become a platform where they are hiring people. There is a lot of success rate hiring people through LinkedIn. Okay, you should be seeing people who have been hired through LinkedIn as well. They are also mentioning their that comment in their job, I mean the role they are working with. They are mentioning a comment saying that I have joined this organization with the help of LinkedIn. So I have been coming across profiles which are more successful on LinkedIn through, I mean they are getting successfully placed by applying on the jobs through LinkedIn as well. And try to send connections with a message saying that, if yeah, when you target people like recruiters or talent acquisition or HR executives for the core data analytics organization, send them messages, a short message, like, just saying that, hi, so and so, like, this is XYZ, looking for opportunities, or looking for new opportunities, or looking for new assignments or new projects. I've tried to keep the message as short as possible, and should be impactful. Just highlight your skills and let them know that you are looking for new opportunities. There will be people who will be reading your messages as well. They will in turn try to give you the replies too. So this is a way you need to grow your network. Okay, so this is all about today's session. Let me see if I have any questions for me. Give me a moment, please. Yeah, so I have questions asking for me, like, is there any department in 360 MG which can proofread our resume? No, yes, we do not proofreading. We just give out no guidelines where they can prepare their resume. As I said, and I am telling this in all my sessions too. There is no such called sample resume or exact format in which you need to through I mean the way you need to format prepare your resume. So you need to build your resume as per your experience and as per your projects you have worked on and all your skill set and all. Yeah, yes, we do give the guidelines for our participants. We help out in that area too. And another question is, like, I didn't understand this. I'm not in my communication, so how can state start a data analytics career? I understand that Bhupender, I think, yeah. Like, you meant to be say that no, you are not good at communication skills, but yet you want to start the data analytics career. I understand, but no, you should be strong enough with the subject, as well as, you need to at least have the basic communication where, you need to understand the what is the opposite person is asking. I don't know where do you stand on your communication skills. If you had I mean if I had If for our participants, if they are not that good at communication skills, if they're average, then I would suggest them, no, from the day one they have joined the course and all, when they are working on the assignments and projects, yeah, try to put some try to spend some amount of your time on day reading books, or no, try to speak with the people who on any conversation, also try to speak in English, or no, try to read books related read books in English, and also no, try watching videos which are helpful for you. So this way you can come up improving your communication skills. But minimum communication skills, like no, what is the opposite person is asking, and you need to be in a, the confidence levels are really very important when you are attending an interview. Our mock interviews done for online courses also. For any the courses we are giving, yes, we do conduct mock interviews. And can you show us an any example resume for data science fresher? Yes, I do have fresher resumes. 1 minute. Sorry guys, it's no, raining very heavily. I don't know when my power will go, but still, just please hold on. I just have sample resumes. I'm showing them here. See, this is one of the sample resume. Um, no, he has just given the summary, like what sort of experience he has. The project should be explained this way: client name, project description, techniques used, tools used, libraries used, business and benefits. Here he was an intern. This is the project work. Education, the certifications, the technical skills, the career objective. Another example: the skills, certifications, experience as an intern, education qualification, academic projects, strengths. So this is how uh, a fresher profile looks like. Hope I have addressed your queries. Okay, so by this I end my session here. Yeah, next week I'll come back with few more sample profiles where you can understand more better. Yeah, thank you all for staying online. Yeah, please join the next session. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone, and very good evening. Welcome back to the session. So, we were looking into linear regression, right? So, we have started with few things, few questions. Here like assumptions, what happens if they are violated, right? What is OLS? What is R square, right? So whenever we are trying to talk about whether it is, any regression technique, right? So first thing is that you are going to apply a regression technique only just because the interpretation is very good when compared to any other algorithms. So as we move on today, so in a single go, what is the actual procedure you follow for building a model? Like what pre-processing, what is the procedure you follow here for, in a short note, right? For building a model for continuous data with right. Let me make it as steps for building a model, or I can make it as a regression model for continuous data with multiple variables. So how do you start with? So as a part of our last week discussions, it is nothing but you have to check your LND, independent and normality, right? So when you talk about this, your beta naught, beta 1, beta 2, etc., because multiple variables, no? These should enter the regression equation linearly, okay? And also with respect to errors, you have to check whether your residuals versus fitted value plot versus fitted value plot, so that you will understand that how these line assumptions, na, L and D, I and N. This will help you to find out few things, whether your errors are linear, right? Or how is the graph for residuals versus fitted values? All this can be interpreted here, right? So here also you try to find out with the errors. You do a QQ plot with the errors and decide whether it is following normal distribution or not. Are they identically, are they independent or not? Right? All these are checked with respect to these two. So as and when a data set is given to you for any model building, you start doing your EDA. Right? You start doing your EDA. So which is nothing but the first step of your what you call it as what all things you check here? Descriptive statistics. What are the things you check as a part of your EDA? Generally, it is nothing but you are trying to find out so many things. Where is the mean? What is the median? Right? Then you get to see you just go for box plot. Then you find that there are outliers in your data, whether it is normally distributed or not. Right? Like this, you try to do EDA. As a part of this, when you try to do EDA, you also do a pair plot, right? You do a pair plot, or you try to find out the correlation between the variables. Okay, this is one more step you have here, right? So when you have the pair plot and the correlation between the variables, you get to see one problem. If your inputs are having any relationship, because as a part of your line assumptions, we have something for the inputs also. Inputs should not have any relationship between them. But if at all, when you find out the correlation or when you do a plot, you get to see any relationship between these, then what do you call it as? Here, it is nothing but it is going to give you a information that these are having some problem. That problem is called as collinearity. Collinearity is nothing but between only these two variables you have a problem, right? But if at all it is a problem with all other variables also, you say that they are entering into multi-collinearity problem, right? What will you do once you got to see that there is a multi-collinearity problem with the data? You have to cross check, right? You have to cross check, you have to resolve this issue of multi-collinearity problem. Is there, it really makes sense that you have to take a call on doing a kind of feature engineering. We understand, is there really any correlation between these two, or because of any other problem you are having, these two are getting correlated. All these things you try to find out. But still, what you will do to find out whether it is really happening, you build the model. Once you build the model, what are the things you are going to get? You check your p-values because it is regression, right? If your p-value is insignificant for the variables, multiple variables is what I'm talking. If all the four variables are significant, good, you move forward and you check for the rest of the things. But if they are insignificant, or one or two are insignificant, you catch all of those variables, right? Then what will you do? You take a call, okay? You cross check now, right? This is only one issue or any other issues are there here. So what will you do? You have to go for added variable plot, right? Which is nothing but, is there any interaction variable? Because of that, are these two getting correlated, right? You go for added variable plot, or also you call it as a partial regression plot, which will help you to penalize the effect of one variable with the other variable. And also it help you, it cuts shorts, and it will help you to know that this is not because of these two, there is some other variable which is because of that reason these two are getting what you call it as correlated. So partial regression plot will give you some idea about the variables, whether really having impact on y. Variables are having impact on y, less impact, more impact, or that. Again, you if you got to see any one variable, so suppose x1, here also x1 is insignificant. Here also x1 is not at all giving you a particular graph, which is really important for prediction of y. Okay, then you move forward with what, friends? You cross check it with variance inflation factor. Step 1, step 2, step 3, go to step 4, go to step 5. Variance inflation factor. So what you get to see from variance inflation factor, if your VIF is greater than 10, you can say that these are not having any impact on your output variable. Right? These are not having. What is the formula for VIF? What is the formula for VIF? By 1 minus R square. We already discussed what is R square. R square being your coefficient of determination. Right? Coefficient of determination. Okay, let me, it is this. So after that, you get your values. You have to take the R square value. Again, you take a call, whichever VIF value is mostly greater than when compared to all other variables, you can fix that particular variable. Means you are targeting that particular variable because even VIF is greater than 10 for that. It is satisfying our condition. If it's greater than 10, yes, go and delete that particular column, or it is less influence your on your output, right? So based on the p-value, based on the added variable plot, right, based on VIF, we are targeting one particular variable or two particular variables when they satisfy all these conditions, right? So after you have to evaluate the model assumptions also. Now you calculate the error, you check your residuals versus fitted value plot. You have to check whether you are after you build your model only, right? If you are having your x1 only here, you remove that and you build the model. Sixth step is you build model removing your that variable which is helping you to which is satisfying all the conditions. Build model removing x1, right? But even there is a chance that you can go for checking any indexes or any rows are affecting. That's the reason your p-value is insignificant. Maybe any indexes, any people's data, right? So you do go and do what is that? Deletion diagnostics. It gives you what plot here? Any indexes are influencing here. It gives you Hooke's distance, Hatch value, student residuals, studentized residuals, and B distribution, Bernoulli's. Right? These are the four. Based on this, you try to delete even the indexes. Okay? Indexes is what you delete. And you try to build the model and check it. If your p-value becomes significant, good. If your p-value is not becoming insignificant, directly go and remove your variable because you have cross-checked it many times. Right? So this is how you build the model. After that, you have to check your model assumption. Collinearity problem is before you build the model, right? Error are nothing but you have to check them after your model is built. That is residuals as fitted values. Errors are identical. Are they independent? Are they following any pattern? Are they normal? If at all you move forward with the same number of values, right? If the indexes, definitely you will cross check it, right? If those are not influencing your entire model, definitely your p-value will become proper. If they are not influencing, the p-value will be insignificant only. So you will not remove this. This is a kind of cross check you are doing with the number of indexes. Maybe like it's one of the tests we are doing to cross check whether any of your indexes, because of that index, are our values are getting correlated, or the p-value is becoming not properly coming, it's becoming insignificant. If at all, though you remove that particular index, any people's data, more values are removed. If your p-values are becoming significant, no problem. If still they are not there, you don't remove them. So you say that no, even if they're insignificant, I move forward, definitely you will stuck with this particular point. Your error would be increasing. Right? They again will enter into a problem now. Right fit, overfit, and underfit problems. Again, you have to go for regularization techniques. So overfitting is a problem which can be resolved easily, but underfitting is a problem which can be resolved easily, but overfitting needs to go for regularization techniques. If you add more and more features, right, you can resolve the issue of underfitting, but overfitting, you have to go for L1 norm and L2 norm. For underfitting bias problem, you can go for transformations or add more features, right? Because the error is more, right? the error is more. This is a total procedure what we have to follow for a regression. Right? When you have multiple variables, you'll check collinearity problem. Right? All these things would arise. Okay. Now, then we have to look into next regression. Right? We can move on to the next regression, which is logistic regression. When you go for logistic regression, when you will go for logistic regression, okay, what is logistic regression here? When the output is in binary, it is a discrete scenario. So how, what is this logistic function we are talking about? It is nothing but 1 by 1 plus e power minus z. I can take it 1 by 1 plus is categorical, discrete, exactly. Right? So this f of z will range from 0 to 1, right? And the values of this is ranging from this is ranging from minus infinity to infinity. Why it is very, very popular? Why this particular algorithm is very popular? Any idea why it is very popular? So logistic regression is one of the most popular algorithm, right? What we come across, because it can convert the values of logics, that is log odds, right? So whatever values we are getting from minus infinity to infinity, we are changing them to 0 to 1. So as a logistic function, output is nothing but it is a probability of the occurrence of an event, right? Because probability is coming into picture means it is related to many applied real life scenarios. You can apply it. So it's very, very popular, and the formula is 1 by 1 plus e to the power of minus beta naught plus beta 1 x1 plus beta 2 x2 plus beta 3 x3, so on and so forth, right? So what would be the output of a logistic model and what is a logistic function? So that's what I have written just now, logistic model and logistic function. So model, it is nothing but main reason here is that you are whatever this beta naught beta 1, what are these called as? You can call them as beta naught beta 1 parameters. You can call them as estimators or estimates, right? What else you can call them? These are not entering the regression equation linearly. That's why we are doing so much of so many changes to your to make them these coefficients entering the equation linearly. We are trying to do so many changes. That's why we are here to use logistic function. right? Generally, any model is the same. Only difference is that logistic and linear are same. Only reason is that beta naught and beta 1 values are different. Yes, they are also called as weights, parameters, estimates, coefficient, weights, right? So when it is f of x or 1 by 1 plus e to the power of minus x, right? This is nothing but, or I can say y 1 by 1 by 1 plus e power minus y. What is your y? Beta naught plus beta 1 x1, so on and so forth. Just because these are not entering the equation linearly, we are going and calculating and doing changes to the output. Right? So how do you interpret the results of this logistic regression model? How do you interpret the results here? How is it we have to interpret the results? How, what is that you are getting? What is y you are getting here? It is a y you are getting here. Y is continuous or discrete here? You just answered that y is nothing but a discrete. And if y is discrete, but what is it we are getting here when you use a regression model here? What is it we are getting if you are using a regression model here? Continuous data. So how can we say that y can be sometimes negative also? So how do you interpret the results of that? We know that y is categorical, discrete, right? Knowing that it is categorical and discrete, how can we say that just because you are using this equation, right? Ah, yes. So you are getting these equations. So, suppose this equation is giving you continuous value. Y is negative, y is positive, good. But y is negative means it is pass or fail. Is it passing or it is failing? That. So you can't interpret that properly. So that is the reason what you have to do. You are doing changes to your equation as mentioned earlier, right? So what is that you are getting here? You have your normally what is that you are getting the equation y is equal to beta naught plus beta 1 x1 plus beta 2 x2 so on and so forth. Okay. So for that reason you are calculating something called as, if you just solve this, your f of x or f of y, which is equal to 1 by 1 minus e to the power of minus beta naught plus beta 1 x1 plus beta 2 x2. Right? If I solve this, I will get something called as p. If I do this as 1 by, I'll get e power beta naught plus beta 1 x1 plus beta 2 x2 by 1 plus e power beta naught plus beta 1 x1 plus beta 2 x2. So just now we have understood that if this value is ranging from minus infinity to infinity, this value is ranging from 0 to 1. So you got just P. Now, what is this called as? We are applying something called as logit transformation. Right? You are applying something called as logit transformation. Right? So what you have to do here, instead of, because this is P, people tried with different logics and they thought, why don't we do P by 1 minus P? Right? P by 1 minus P. It is nothing but odds. We are calculating something called as odds here. So now what is odds? Ratio of probability of an event occurring to the probability of not occurring. Event occurring and event not occurring. Assume that the probability of winning a lottery, okay, lottery winning is 0.01. But not winning lottery, 1 minus 0.01. Both it should divide, right? So the odds of winning the lottery, odds of, what you call it as, 0.01 by 0. Not wrong, 99. So the odds of winning the lottery is, the ratio is 1 to 99. And not winning a lottery is 99 to 1. Winning is 1 to 99 ratio, odds not ratio. Not winning is 99 to 1. The same logic will apply here also. Occurrence of the event, non-occurrence of the event will apply here. And we try to, why are we doing all this? Because your beta naught, your coefficients, your parameters, they are not entering this regression equation linearly. Just because of only that reason, we are doing so many transformations to the data, so that we want beta naught and beta 1 should be linear. Right? You apply this now. If I calculate 1 minus p, what is that I'm going to get? 1 minus e power beta naught plus beta 1x by 1 plus e power beta naught plus beta 1x. So if I do cross multiplication, I get 1 by 1 plus e power beta naught plus beta 1x. This is why 1 minus p. So what am I trying to do? I'm calculating odds. P by 1 minus p. I already have p. I already have 1 minus p. I try to write them. So what is that I left out with? If I do, this is my 1, this is my 2, 1 by 2. Equation 1 by equation 2. I'll be left out with e power beta naught x1. Odds. Right? Still exponential is there. It means still this is not satisfying our linear condition. Then not, I think people have thought that, okay, if exponential is there, best thing is to cut short it, we'll do log. We'll apply log. So p by 1 minus p, this is what we got. We'll apply log of p by 1 minus p, log of e power beta naught plus beta 1 x1. This and this will go. So log of p by 1 minus p is giving you beta naught plus beta 1 x1. This is a final, right? We want this. To get this, we are doing so many transformations. This is called as logit. The transformation is logit transformation. It's called as logit. Right? This P is called as your logistic regression function. Right? Logistic regression function. Right? So P by 1 minus P is your odds. This is how you calculate the output, logistic regression output. So odds ratio is nothing but the ratio of odds between the two groups. Right? We are trying to find out the ratio between two groups, odds between two groups. Right? So odds ratio is nothing but, so out of this regression topic, we got to see now what is odds. Right now it is odds ratio. So what is odds ratio here? So you are trying to find out, right? Suppose like what's it? Effectiveness of a medicine, right? Effectiveness of a medicine. So you give this particular medicine to two different groups, right? So if you are trying to calculate the odds of both groups, medicine given to both the groups, that is nothing but you call it as odds ratio, right? This is nothing but called as odds ratio. So odds of medicine working fine for A group by odds of medicine working for B group. This is nothing but odds ratio. If your odds ratio is equal to 1, right? There is no difference coming between these two. There's no difference between these two groups. If your odds ratio is greater than 1, right? So what you will understand here, if it is greater than 1, B group is better than A group. B group is better than A group. Vice versa now. Less than 1 means A group is better than B group. Very, very important, friends. What is odd? What is odds ratio? Why we are doing this logic transformation for logistic regression? Why are we not using linear regression for why being discrete? Why it is only logistic? Right? There's a couple of questions we have to know. Right? So, for what is that? What should be your answer here now? Why can't the linear regression be used in place of logistic regression? Why can't I try? Why can't linear regression be used in place of logistic? What should be your answer for this? The first thing is your distribution of the error terms. Right? For this question, the first is error terms. So the distribution of the data is different for linear and logistic regression. So in linear, we are saying that your errors are normally distributed. Your errors are normally distributed. Normally distributed. In case of this, the assumption does not hold true. This is not required here because you check normal distribution only for continuous data. Here it is discrete, right? That's why we are not using it. And yes, that is an open known answer, right? The output is continuous in linear regression. In case of binary classification, the output of a continuous value does not make any sense. So whenever you try to, if at all you forcibly pass the data, what happens? Your answers may go beyond 0 to 1. If it is beyond, less than 0 and greater than 1, the interpretation is not possible as discussed earlier. So if you want the output in the form of probabilities, we can map into two different classes. As logistic regression model can output the probabilities with sigmoid function. So it is preferred over logistic regression. And also one more thing what we have to keep in mind is that the variance associated with residual errors. Linear regression assumptions, yes, there are few assumptions for logistic also, right? So those also should hold good here. So the variance of the random errors should be constant. This assumption can be violated in logistic. We only think of mutually exclusive, collectively exhaustive assumption is what holds good for logistic regression. If it is pass, a student can't pass and fail at the same time. If it is pass means pass, fail means fail. You don't have toggling between pass and fail, and two events cannot occur at the same time. That is one of the assumption of logistic regression, right? That is one of the what you call it as assumption here. Okay. Yeah, what is an evaluation metric here? We are saying yes, distribution of the data is different, errors are different, errors are not random, and y is discrete here. Why don't we use this why can't we use this mean square error here as a cost function for this? Why can't we use a mean square error? I think last session I explained you the evaluation metrics for logistic regression. Very, very important. Are they those hold good even for this? For logistic also, they hold good. Now you should be able to know the difference between error function, cost function, and loss function, right? If at all it is y being continuous, all mean the same. All do the same job. Whether you calculate mean error, mean square error, you go for MAP, you go for RMSC, you go for absolute deviation. Error function, cost function, loss function mean the same. Right? Why can't we use this error calculation or evaluation metrics for logistic regression? Right? You know what is cost function, you know what is loss function. They are different, right? But this whole good same, we say that they are same when y is continuous. I think people should be knowing that whenever we are talking about error or we are talking about cost function and loss function, we always run behind this to get a better accuracy, to decrease it and to increase its accuracy, right? But why are we running behind these two? For optimization purpose, right? If your y is continuous, all the three are in the same bag, all mean the same. But when it comes to y being discrete, or when you're going for classification models also, right? We can't say like that. We can't say that this optimization and this are same. Right? Why? The accuracy, exactly. It's Chris, right? Cost and loss function is for optimization. So in logistic regression, we use a sigmoid function and we perform a non-linear transformation to obtain the probabilities. Already we are doing so many changes for this. On top of it, again, you are squaring the non-linear transformation. It will lead to non-convexity with your what is called as local minima, right? Finding global minima, if you do square, imagine friends, oh my god, gradient descent is not possible, right? Gradient descent is not possible. It is like this. Your aim is for this local minima, right? Already you are saying mean square error, squaring it. And you are getting probability values here. You square this, what will happen? Will never reach to this. You don't have any local minima point only there. Right? So this mean square error is not suitable for your logistic regression. What is that we have to go for this? What is the optimization technique we go here? It is nothing but a binary cross entropy. And the error calculation is done using confusion matrix. Correct? The confident wrong predictions are penalized heavily in using the cost function or loss optimization technique here. It is a binary cross entropy. So the confident wrong predictions are penalized. The confident right predictions are rewarded less. By optimizing this cost function, we are reaching to this convergence point very, very quickly. Right? We reach to this convergence point very quickly, means it will do a perfect classification with the minimum number of steps, minimum number of jumps to reach to the local minima. Local minima means least error. Optimization terms, remember, minima and maxima. What do you want? You want maximum error? No, we want minimum error. So if someone asks you what is a cost function or loss function for y being discrete, it should be binary cross entropy, right? Or log loss. You call it as log loss, which is used as a cost function for logistic regression. It's not logistic regression, y being categorical, you can say discrete, whatever. To reach the local minima point, it's very, very important that we don't use MSC. Convergence should be achieved, right? Okay. The follow-up question, if you explain all these things, very good. Why is accuracy is not a good measure for classification problems? Because it is a classification, right? You people only told that it's pass or fail, right? Why is accuracy not a good measure? Good measure for classification. Come on. Is accuracy a good measure? Mostly, whenever we talk about accuracy, right, we consider it for linear, but we don't consider it for classification problems, because here we have our friends with us, that is false negative and false positive, right? So in case of, if you take a very basic example, right, cancer prediction, here you are saying a person is you're declaring cancer as benign and is more serious than wrongly informing the patient that he's suffering from cancer. So if at all you are taking the accuracy into consideration, if at all you have false negative values, right, what will happen here? You cannot differentiate between them. So it's very, very important that you have to, definitely it is imbalanced data set. Yes, right? So what happens here, though you have a measure, like you are writing your confusion matrix, taking the true positive, true negative by total, summing up them and by total, you're getting an accuracy, it will be good. But in that you are not finding your false negative values are wrongly predicted. You are saying a person is already suffering from cancer that you are not suffering. Eventually it will lead to the death of a person also. So what you have to do? You have to check for the false negative values. If the false negative values are less, right, with an accuracy of at least 85, zero false negative, one false negative, your model is good. Your model is very, very good. Right now, definitely, if you use all this false negative, false positive, what will be the next follow-up question here? What would be the follow-up question here? Confusion matrix, right? How do you get all this? The evaluation metric for logistic regression is confusion matrix, right? Even before we talk about that, all the components of confusion matrix, how does this logistic regression handle categorical variables? How this will handle categorical variables? First thing is, the condition here is whenever you are having, when you want to build a model, when you want to build a logistic regression model, all the inputs, right, x1, x2, x3, whatever we have the inputs you have collected, those should be numeric. Because if you just pass, and the very initial days we start understanding pre-processing, many of the algorithms, they don't take the categorical variables as is. They don't understand. They can't handle them. So they have to be converted. There is a need that you have to convert them into a format that is suitable for the algorithm to process it. Right? So that is the reason what you have to do. You have to convert all these categorical columns, whatever you have, into dummy variables. Right? So these dummy variables are handled by this particular logistic regression model because it is a number. So it can easily process it. So it will not create any issue here. Okay. So which algorithm is better to handle outliers? Let me give you options also. Logistic or you feel SVM. Which one? Which is better to handle this? You know that one thing that logistic regression also will find a linear boundary, right? If that, but it is finding a linear boundary, it tries to accommodate the outliers. So this logistic regression will shift the linear boundary in order to accommodate the outliers. But when it comes to your support vector machine, it is very, very, we can say that, it's insensitive for individual sample. It will not, the shift can't be, what we can say, a major shift cannot happen there. Right? It's a linear boundary to accommodate an outlier. And this SVM, it will come with inbuilt complexity where it will take care of overfitting. So this is not true in case of your logistic regression. So SVM, if you remember, you have the support vectors, and we are trying to draw a line there where you have that line, that margin difference, that error component. It should not touch that particular line. You should very, very far away. It should get segregated. Otherwise, you will jump this side, you will jump that side. It cannot handle properly. Major shift cannot happen with that particular boundary. Then what is that boundary called as actually? What do you call that boundary? We call it as some name is given to that particular boundary. Boundary, right? It is a decision boundary. So is this decision boundary, we'll stop after this question. Finally, right? Is the boundary, whatever you are drawing, right? Linear or non-linear? In this case, is it linear or non-linear? So now you have an idea that decision boundary is a line that separates the target variables into different classes, right? Different classes. So decision boundary can be either linear or non-linear. But in case of logistic regression model, the decision boundary is a straight line. Right? If you see that regression equation, beta naught plus beta 1 x1 plus beta 2 x2, it's a straight line. Clearly represent it's a straight line only. So it is only suitable in such cases where a straight line is trying to figure out, to separate the classes, different classes. Then what will happen? Okay, no, that is not at all a straight line here. What will you do? Then we have to go for non-linear algorithms. They have to be used so that you need to achieve a better result. But always it is a line which should be a straight line, and that is your beta. Because we are getting to that conclusion, y equal to beta naught plus beta 1 x1 plus beta 2 x2. Right? That's the only reason here. We say that if it is not, okay, go for non-linear algorithms. Right? If at all you are having multiple what you call it as classes, how will you handle with logistic regression? If at all you are having multiple classes, one versus rest, or one versus or one against all mean the same, right? One versus rest, one versus all, and you also call it as one against all. OAA. This is OVA. OVR. Right? You try to take C1, three classes are there. Right? This will be one. This is against this. C2, C1, C3. C3, C1, C2. Right? If at all, this is one way you can go. Otherwise, we'll go for 1 versus 1. 1 against 1. Whatever you can say. C1 versus C2. See, all the combinations is possible. C1 with C3. Deal. That this or this class, right? Because single independent variable. If multiple independent variables are there, you have to go for multiple logistic regression. And the technique you follow is 1 versus all, 1 versus 1. So here you build so many number of models with different combinations. Here also you have to build different models. Get the best model out of it based on the probability you are getting for each classification. Okay, so this is something about logistic regression, friends. We did not enter into the evaluation matrix. Confusion matrix is not covered. So if at all we talk about confusion matrix, it's like you have to totally concentrate on what is precision, what is recall, sensitivity, specificity, right? And your ROC curve, AUC region. Okay. So thank you all for joining the session, and thank you. We'll connect next week, same time.
Yeah, good evening. Is it Manish here? Hello. Yeah, good morning, everyone. And so today's success story session has been postponed to next week due to unavailability of the designated speaker. We appreciate your patience. Please join us back at a week next time on the same time. So thanks everyone for waiting, and we'll really apologize that we make you wait. So definitely the session will be next week at the same time, and hope so. Have a good day. Bye bye. Thank you.